The hit stop is so important, and it makes the game look more like...
It does. It's more meaty. Like
every
hit has so much impact.
All right, guys, here we go. The first gameplay reveal for Street Fighter 6. I'm going to do a quick discussion video. Joining with me is my brother, VesperArcade. What's up?
What's up, guys?
And Mir. What's going on, Mir?
Hello.
It's like 2 a.m. for me right now. Okay, for context of this video, guys, just so you know, we're doing this video right after the gameplay reveal. So this is right after. I don't know when I'm releasing this video. We're going to talk about everything. I am just overwhelmed with information right now. It's just crazy. Capcom has opened up the floodgates. I don't think no one expected that we'd see this much. But what are your guys' like initial impressions from just the State of Play trailer alone? Like from what are you guys seeing?
Okay, I'll start. So right away, I was like, wow, Street Fighter 6. And then I seen the open world segment, and I was like,
yeah.
Oh, no.
Dude, no, I was scared too, man. I was like, I got shivers. I was like, wait, what is this?
I was like, what have they done?
Yeah.
Like, this can be, this is terrible.
This could be a disaster.
But, you know, then they showed the gameplay, and I was like, okay, that's just a story mode. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And then with the gameplay, I don't even know what to say. I'm just blown away.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Like, wow. I did not expect that much.
Yeah, yeah.
I will say that I had faith in Capcom from the very beginning. When I saw...
Oh, no, here we go.
No, like, Turbo Shill mode engaged,
yeah.
I was just like... Actually, no, I cannot say that on YouTube. I was very excited. Let's go with that.
Mir has his arms crossed with like a cape behind him. He's like, I told you guys so. With the Street Fighter logo. Yeah, on the logo on.
Like, I saw this city, and at first I was like, oh, maybe this is, you know, something for Exo Primal or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing more and more, like, Final Fight stuff and Street Fighter stuff. Is like, no, wait, could this be? And I was like, oh, just splooging all over, you know? Like,
I said the exact same thing when I first saw it too, man. Dude, there was so many mechanics going down. Like during, like, when we first saw it, well, Willie came downstairs and we were talking about, like, Willie was quickly trying to figure out what mechanic is this? A focus? There's a parry? There's so much, you know? And then all of a sudden, like, Capcom releases, like, redoes the website, and now they have all this information, new mechanics, and how the game's gonna be, and all these new modes. And it's just, like, overwhelming, so...
I know, I was, like, writing down the timestamps. It's like, man, I think this. Holy, I think that. And then right after, it's like, wait, boom, it's all there. And I was like, no. Well... You know, it's good, but I was like, now I'm not so
went
clever.
To do, like, information collection overload myself. I was just trying to understand what everything did, but, like, that post on the Street Fighter website just helped me understand so much, because there were a lot of things that I kind of guessed, and then was like, oh, but how does it really work? And now it makes much more sense.
Yeah, so where do you guys want to start off? Like, what mechanic or thing you guys want to start with the gameplay?
I just think that this game... It has nothing to do with mechanics or nothing, but just seeing this, it honestly looks like this is top tier budget, tons of money, tons of work.
You don't think this game looks rushed?
Not rushed whatsoever. They are going for everything. They are going for the casual audience.
Yeah.
They have easy mode buttons.
Yeah.
They have an open world story mode that I think is going to be crazier than any other story mode in any other Street Fighter. And
they're trying to take back the crown. They're trying to, like...
They're like, Street Fighter is the fighting game name.
Yeah.
They have it.
Right.
And it looks like they're
going
all in here.
Capcom's trying to be like the innovator again, instead of just the chaser. They're trying to be like, look, man, we started fighting games, you know what I mean? And we want to be the kings again. And they're trying to, like, bring in their own ideas now and be Capcom again.
This looks like the big one.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like the big one. And, like, everything about this game looks amazing. Even the website and everything and all the information is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, holy
yeah.
I was going to say the scope of this game, you can tell it's much bigger than Street Fighter V ever was. Yeah. Because the way they structured their news is that Fighting Ground... okay, so let me say it this way. They have 3 main game modes that they're planning, right?
Okay.
And right now we have only information for this Fighting Ground game mode. And the way they describe it is that Fighting Ground is all of the Street Fighter V modes, they're going to be in Fighting Ground. So it's going to be online matches, arcade... I don't think they mentioned survival, but, you know, that could be it too, you know, training mode. Like, that's the traditional fighting game package, right? But the game doesn't end there. That's the thing that's exciting. It's like, that's what you would have gotten from a normal fighting game, but no, they're planning to have this battle hub, which is kind of like this I don't know, online Second Life meeting area, I think. I guess.
PlayStation
I
Online experience.
Yeah. And then this World Tour, which is the single player element, which is honestly pretty exciting because it's one of the things that's missing from fighting games, right? That you don't really have a single player component that is worth playing all that much, right?
Right.
The closest we got to that is probably Mortal Kombat with all the, the crypt and the towers and such where you unlock stuff.
Right.
But if you have a mode where you can have your character and customize him and, like an RPG thing, open world, that could be really cool. Like,
it's
it could
cool.
be
They call it
for
World
people
Tour
to
as
get
well,
into.
Mir. And
Sorry?
they call it World Tour as well, which is a throwback to Street Fighter Alpha, because a lot of people bring up that, like, look, Capcom has made cool single player experiences before with World Tour mode in Street Fighter Alpha 3. And, and now they're actually calling it. This is like the evolution of that. Capcom's going back to what they're good at. It's really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. If we're going to talk about battle mechanics, like, game mechanics, I guess the most important one to mention, which they have explained on their website, is this drive system.
Okay.
And I guess I could summarize it real quick, and then we can talk about it. Basically, the idea is that they split the traditional EX meter in two parts, if you will. They have one that's just like your EX meter, and you use that to do supers. And then you have this drive meter that is a 6-bar affair that is like right below your health bar.
Yeah.
That is a resource that regenerates over time, and you can use it to do some unique moves. Like, for example, there's this focus attack looking thing, and you can dash cancel certain things, and we're gonna go in depth on later on. But and the idea is that if you run out of drive, you enter this like burnout state where you have they say that you get debuffed somehow. Yeah. So kind of like you have this alternate meter management on top of your supers. Yeah, you have to deal
with risk reward, And like when I saw this bar, guys, I think it's like a low key stamina bar. That's the way I think it's like a stamina bar.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So we have like this drive impact, and it says a powerful strike that can absorb an opponent's incoming attack. Perform this on an opponent backed into the corner to induce a wall splat, even if they block the attack. So this is like some kind of like pressure move, like a big offensive pressure move. And you do this by pressing, looks like the heavies at the same time.
Yeah, that seems like that is the case. It seems like very similar to something like focus attack from Street Fighter 4.
Yeah.
Like at first glance, because it has armor and it seems to be not only safe on block, but some kind of guard crush. Maybe you're not. It doesn't seem like, based on the footage that we have, that you're plus enough to do combos or anything like that. But you can see when they block it, they recoil backwards, right? And that's probably what induces this wall splat that they're talking about. But it is kind of slow, so that seems to be kind of like the idea, right? Like you have something that is slow, but with armor that is powerful, even if it is blocked, and it costs 1 drive gauge.
And now we have drive parry, and it says automatically repel an opponent's attack and replenish drive when performed successfully. Perform a perfect parry by parrying just before an opponent's attack hits you. So it's like you can just hold it down, it seems, or you can like perfectly time it,
Maybe like just when you hold it down, it's like an auto block system, like just to ensure you don't get mixed up.
Yeah, and I guess it'd be good against zoning too,
Yeah, well, I was thinking just now that maybe this is kind of like Street Fighter's equivalent to faultless defense in Guilty Gear games. How in Guilty Gear games you can spend meter to push back the opponents from you, pretty much. Like that's it's a little bit more complicated than that, but like that's the gist.
Yeah.
And it says that it costs a gauge to use, but it also replenishes it when you parry, right? So it's probably worth doing it, like if you're blocking a certain strings of attacks just to get some of your gauge back.
And the next one is the Overdrive, and this is pretty much just EX moves. It says press 2 of the same button type instead of 1 when performing a special move to turn into an Overdrive art. These are the same attacks as EX special moves in past games. It even just outright says it, so it uses 2 bars. So your EX meter is not used for EX moves, basically. It's this stamina bar, this drive bar. So that's cool. I mean, the EX moves are back, and they're still like yellow. The characters are still yellow,
Oh yeah, keep it familiar.
Well, the other interesting part about this is that you'd be able to do things like EX moves into supers, because obviously they're on completely different
Oh,
bars.
yeah,
I
that's a
never
good
thought about
point.
that,
Oh
yeah.
man, yeah, the deeps. We'll see what the scaling is when you do EX moves in this game. That might be really annoying too, because like a lot of EX moves are invincible. So if you have like,
Oh, depending, maybe in this game it'll be completely different, right?
yeah, it's true. Like if you do a wake up, I mean, like supers are invincible as well, but doing like a non-screen freeze, EX reversal into super, for example.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, assuming that they would even let you do that, right?
Yeah, if you assuming. Yeah, we don't even know.
This is the one to me that is like the most crazy.
This drive rush?
Yeah.
Drive rush. Perform a quick rush forward from a drive parry or a cancelable normal attack. Drive rush from a parry costs 1 drive stock, while drive rush from a normal attack costs 3 drive stocks. Whoa. So it's like an FADC?
Yeah, but it's the most expensive one that there is, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know, just watching when Ryu does it in the trailer,
Yeah.
it looks amazing. It looks crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
it's
Chun-Li
really
doesn't
fast.
even hit him. She whiffs the fierce punch. I'm assuming it's the fierce punch or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's
it should be.
blocking or he hits parry and then he goes into the rush punch.
Yeah.
Or the rush punch, sorry, the drive rush.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
'cause
going to be like
you
the
could use
main heart of the game. In high level play, I'm going to assume people are going to use drive rush for everything. It like
But
you said,
3 bars.
It's 3 bars, but I'm just saying that like, man, it's so powerful though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like this is going to extend your combos. It's going to make things that shouldn't be safe. It's going to allow you to get in. Like when you have a system like FADC or like a Roman cancel or things that you can cancel, that's the whole game. Like, you know what I mean? This is going to be nuts.
It's going to be a big deal for sure, especially because you can do stuff like, for example, since you can cancel out of a parry, if someone does a badly spaced fireball that you parry, then you can dash in and punish them.
It's
for
literally
example.
focus
Like
attack.
this is
It's
literally
focus
focus.
mode. Yeah.
This is literally focus. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
But another example, obviously the 3 drive bar version is for extending combos because it specifically mentions cancelable normal attacks, right? So instead of doing normal into a special, right, that might be your combo, you can do a normal into the drive rush into another normal into a special, and that would add extra damage. And another thing that I guess it's worth mentioning, the input is just forward.
Yeah.
But there are normal dashes in this game. Like they do show in the trailer that there are normal dashes. So it's not like it's a dash replacement.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. And the last one is the drive reversal.
Reversal.
They didn't even like try
reversal.
them to call it something different. Perform a counterattack while blocking an opponent's attack. The damage is low, but can help you out in tight situations when you're being pressured. It says the damage is low. I don't know if there's gray health in this game. Because, if it does do actual damage, that's scary. Because alpha counters
Probably
and
won't kill you.
because hopefully it won't kill you. Exactly. Because in Street Fighter Alpha 2, it did. You know what I mean? And it was super annoying. Because you're basically checkmated, But this is pretty expensive too. It's 2 bars. But it's basically the game's V reversal. They call it drive reversal.
I like how there's a nice balance of defensive and offensive mechanics.
Yeah. And some in between.
And this is just what they have right now. The game's obviously going to come up with more.
And like, dude, like I said, I was so confused because Willie's like saying, look, they're turning green, they're turning blue. And I'm like, I can see that. I'm trying to understand, like, maybe is it just character specific, the colors, or it's random? But then now we see there's like 5 core mechanics already revealed. And they're not even like talking about super. Like this is the drive system. So now we got the V system. Now it's drive. That's cool. I like it.
I guess since we were mentioning the dying to the drive reversal or not dying to the drive reversal, I would like to mention that I'm going to assume that the chip system is going to be just like Street Fighter 5, especially now that you have access to more supers because the bars cap out of 3 for the supers. They're probably just gonna have it the same way where you can only die to supers on block.
Yeah, I hear you. You're telling me before though. Overdrive. That acronym for it.
I was mentioning that. Yeah. Remember guys, EX moves are now called overdrives, and I've already seen it shortened as OD. So take that as you will.
It's gonna be so lame. It's like nice OD, bro. So stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this control type now. So, in case you guys don't know, they already announced that they're gonna have two schemes called Modern, also known as Scrub Casual scheme.
Easy mode?
Yeah, Easy mode. And they got Classic mode, also known as a Veteran mode, right?
Fighting game mode.
Skill mode. Okay, so it looks like the Ed prophecy has come true, guys. They're gonna allow you to play this game basically using 1-button input special moves and 2-button input supers, and even this weird kind of little auto combo thing, but I'll get to that in a second before you guys panic. But you're gonna have the option of playing either. I don't know, Mir, correct me if there's a disadvantage to using the basic mode.
There is
based on what we've seen on how they laid out the inputs on the website.
Yeah.
The classic control scheme is all the 6 buttons, right? Light punch, light kick, medium punch, medium kick, on. With the modern control scheme, it says light attack, medium attack, heavy attack, and special move, which makes me think that you might not have access to all the normal attacks that are in the game. Because if it says just medium attack, you only have 2 out of 4, right? Because, well, I mean, including, I guess, the jumping attacks as well. So you only have 3 out of 6.
Weird.
So I think, this is my guess, I think that the modern style is for people that want to pick up the game for the first time. Well, I mean, it is intended for them.
Yeah.
But it's for people that want to play story mode, you know, without having to learn super complicated motion inputs and such.
It's intuitive too, right?
Yeah, it's like, it's a very easy way of getting into the game, right? But if you want to play competitively, since you don't have access to all of your, all of your normals, and probably not even all the versions of the special moves, then you will have to play on Classic instead.
Yeah.
And that's the way
I think this is an awesome idea.
It's a good stepping stone.
It's a good stepping stone. This is like, I would say, a less controversial way of going about it than a game like maybe like Project L, for example. Because Project L is like, you're going to have all 1-button specials. And there's some people are just on the fence of like, I just don't like that. You know what I mean? But this is like the training wheels, and then you can grow. This is like a good starting thing.
Because if you start off and you're like, oh, this game's awesome, but then you see someone do a combo and you realize, you know what? I can't do this combo on this control scheme.
Right.
I want to give it a shot to play on Classic.
Yeah.
And then that's a good stepping stone to get into, like, you know.
Yeah. And then there's some people that are carrying over from Street Fighter 5 that are like, I already know how to play fighting games. Give me everything. Yeah. Give me everything. I don't care about these modern controls. And there's going to be some people like Mir just mentioned that are like, I want to just play story. I love Street Fighter, but I don't care about like practicing stuff, and they could just start right away.
Yeah,
like,
there's a seat for everyone.
Yeah, it's exactly, and that this is, you know, we saw this coming in a way, right? Capcom obviously experimented with Falk and Ed, and we saw this coming, and this could have gone a lot worse. You know what I mean? This could have been a disaster.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
At first, when we first seen it, I was like, triangle fireball. I was like, oh no.
yeah. Dude.
Oh no! But then I was like, "Oh wait, there's 2 schemes."
Yeah. For this, for the special moves mirror, it shows that like the direction plus the button of the special move determines the special move you get. So it's showing like Tatsu, uppercut, donkey kick, and then 2 buttons plus the direction determines the super you get. And we see like 3 different supers. Now here's the other thing. Like now we're getting to the auto combo part. This is another big controversial thing. So there's assisted combo.
Oh yeah.
And it looks like you hold down R2. This is on PlayStation controller. Hold down R2, and then you press 1 button multiple times.
So circle,
or
circle,
X, or circle. Yeah,
1 more circle.
Yeah, and it'll lead into a super or a special depending on how many times you press the button. This honestly looks exactly like KOF 15 auto combo system.
Do you know what? That's fine, man.
You mean like MVCI?
No, Mir. KOF 15.
To me, this
MVCI
is fine. Like, I'm sure there's going to be some kind of scaling back on this. It's not going to be like kind of like KO.
Well, it's limited too. Like
very limited.
Like doing 2 hits into a special move into the super. Like that's good at the beginner level, but you need more customization. Like you'll be doing these basic combos, and someone's going to be like into like the dash drive, and he's going to cancel.
All of a sudden, the screen's going to light up with colors.
You know what I mean?
That's actually something that I wanted to mention, which is interesting to me. The fact that in the entirety of the trailers that we've seen, everything is like a 2-hit combo.
Yeah, like they're showing the assisted combo.
Special. There's like no links. It's very interesting because we see, for example, at one point there's Luke. He lands a crouching medium punch.
Yeah.
On a dashing Oh god, I forgot his name. Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie.
And then it does like crouching light punch, which in Street Fighter 5 is his fastest move, and that doesn't combo. Which is like interesting, right? Like that would be a very easy link that normally would exist, but maybe Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 6, I'm sorry, assuming that it's trying maybe to be like Street Fighter 3, I don't know. It might have a very, very simplified combo system.
I wouldn't be
literally
surprised.
Just normal into special.
I wouldn't be surprised, Mir. I wouldn't be surprised if like the main way you extend your combos is you use this drive system. The drive.
Yeah, I think so too.
This might be like, this is going to be like, you know what I mean? The execution.
I think this is going to be super risk and reward. Because imagine if you cancel a normal without parrying or whatever, and you spend or you lose those 3 bars.
Yeah.
Do you know how, like, imagine you do that.
How much is it total? 6?
You have 6 bars.
Yeah.
You start
So
off the match with 6 bars, full bars.
Yeah.
So you can go crazy at first, but we don't know how bad this debuff system is.
Yeah, like we don't know, like maybe you can't block, or it takes a really long, extra long time to recharge.
Or yeah, like it could be a lot of things, but I'm just saying losing 3 bars off of something that's unsuccessful.
Yeah,
that is major. Like
True.
from what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be the most important one.
I think the auto combos too in KOF 15, they didn't affect the game at all. Like,
No.
you never see it. It's like,
I would hate it when I accidentally do
I
it.
hate when I accidentally do it, but this is like, I think you have to use the you have to use the modern control type to even access this. So let's say even if the auto
And you have
combos,
to hold a special button.
you have to hold the button, right? And so even if the auto combos are okay, like the sacrifice is huge, because once again you have to pick the modern control screen, then you lose.
Yeah, this is just for, you know,
You can tell like Capcom has really thought about this. They're like, they know the consequences of doing this, and they're like, what is the best middle ground we can find? I mean, all fighting game developers have been trying to figure this out for a long time, man.
They got it. It's like, we got it.
We got it. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
There's something I want to talk about in this trailer that I don't think anyone's talking about. Maybe they are. Anyway, is that there is a very strong hint, okay, that this is, or there is going to be some kind of 2v2 system in this game.
Yeah.
In the trailer, it shows Luke and Jamie, buddy, next to each other, walking up to a Ryu and Chun-Li on the other end.
Yeah. At a gate or something.
At a gate. Yeah. And obviously, what they're going to, it looks like some kind of showdown, right? So
yeah.
I think it might be a separate mode, or maybe, just maybe, they didn't want to give us too much. You know what I mean? They didn't want to blow us too away. But I'm thinking that this is a 2v2 game.
I don't think it's a 2v2 game. I think there may be a 2v2 mode. I think if it's a 2v2, they would have explained that by now. We see the drive system. We know what the basic controls are. We don't see like a tag button, for example. And
this could be like the next big reveal, right?
It could be. It could be. I'm not saying it's not, but
why would they even show that?
I feel like it's more likely because a tag would completely change how the game works. You know what I mean? It would completely change it, and so I think it's more likely. It's more like I go my turn, you go your turn kind of thing. You can play with a friend. That seems more realistic than what we've seen now, based on that information.
Yeah, it's something to keep our eye on.
Go ahead, Mir.
No, I think so too. I think it's a hint at that team mode that they had in Street Fighter 5, that where you could, like play offline with a team of up to 3 characters, because it was like not 3 characters, but like 3 players, right? Because they intended that for offline play, and they were kind of hinting at that. Because even if you look at the UI, the way it is set up, where you can see the portraits on the top left and the top right, the way they're kind of shaped and such, it makes me think that they could be stacked on top of each other to show like a team,
Yeah.
Like they might have the UI already set up to accommodate this mode in the future. But I think the main game is going to be 1v1.
Yeah,
I truly believe
so
that.
I
That's,
hope so. It could be right.
It's gonna be.
All right, let's talk about let's take like a back here, because we're talking about the mechanics so much. Let's talk about the game just like aesthetically. Like what do you guys think about this whole like graffiti theme, kind of modern street style kind of look with like all these different rainbow colors? So much going on the screen.
Hello, fellow kids. I too play video games. Haha, Capcom.
What about you, Willie?
I think, you know what? I like it. There's only one thing I'm going to say that I don't like about this. And it could be minor. Because, like, the screen could be more zoomed in on this trailer from, like, to get...
It says it is. At the beginning, it says camera
So, if it's backed up a bit more, then maybe this might not be a big deal. I just think that the splatter may be too big.
Yeah,
it's a very busy splatter.
it is. It really is.
The game looks so good. It's beautiful. You know what I mean? Just that the splatter is it's a little too much. I think they can tone down the splatter just a tad.
I think like even the Street Fighter V beginning trailers, they like tried to tone. There was a lot of splatter too, Willie. Like just the ink effect, and it seemed like Capcom's like, okay, this is a little too crazy, and they kind of toned it down a little too. So I wouldn't be surprised. It is pretty extreme.
Because like look at
I know we're looking at the trailer playing guys in the background right now, and it's like it was so hard to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, like I mean it allows
if you don't know what the mechanics are in this game, Willie, and you watched it, you'd be like, do you know what's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I've been watching like 3 times over.
Like if you're someone who doesn't play fighting games, but you understand what's going on. Like it just looks like,
it's like whoa, colors, man.
Yeah, it's like someone's just puking a rainbow on the screen. It's just insane how many colors are going on, which is kind of funny because when we first saw this game, it was a lot of just like gray, black, white at the beginning. You know, it was like it seemed
was
like
a low
dark.
light scene,
It could have
right?
been dark. You know,
Could have.
it could have.
The splatters weren't there yet.
They weren't ready. What do you guys think of the UI, the rainbow colored UI?
It looks like MVCI.
What? What are you talking about?
It looks like MVCI.
No, to me it looks like DMC5, like a DMC5 HUD. That's what it looks like.
I don't know. Like, I mean, there's nothing. Well, no, I was gonna say
Mirror,
there's
nothing
wrong
looks
with
like
the MVCI UI. There totally is.
Nothing looks like MVCI Mirror except for like Ape Escape. That's like the closest thing.
Well, the numbers are the biggest tell, I think. But no, I wanted to mention something else actually. Going one step back about the graphics.
Yeah.
One thing that was also in the early builds of Street Fighter V, and then they ironed out over time, is the fact that the characters in the foreground, I don't think they stand out as much as they should over the background. Like they kind of blend in. There's not a lot of like light in the front yet. But that is something, like I said, that they ironed out in Street Fighter V as well. Because if you remember the early trailers for Street Fighter V on the China stage, it was kind of difficult to see the characters over the background because there was not, like they weren't in the light.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that they're going to iron out over time, make the backgrounds more backgrounds, I guess, and have the characters pop out a little bit more. Yeah. So that's kind of like, it's like a PSA for people that are worried that, they're going to lose the characters over the background. I think they're just going to fix that over time.
Yeah.
Because they clearly do care about that.
Yeah. This trailer, I think they're just emphasizing these splatters. You know what I mean? Now that I think about it, I don't think these are going to be as obtuse as they are right now. I think they're just showing like, hey, there's a new system. Yellow means this. Red means that. You know what I mean? Like, just showing you like, I don't know. I can't imagine it being like this.
Graphically,
yeah, we even see Jamie do one of those like focus attacks. I forget what they're called. Drive Impact, I think.
Yeah, the red one.
And the splashes literally take form and splash on the ground. Like they make a splatter of paint on the ground.
Like the splat is there. Like it's actually there. Yeah. So that's crazy.
That's probably really extreme on purpose to make it look very colorful. But if it not interacts. I'm sorry. It makes the gameplay worse. I'm sure that they're gonna tune it.
Yeah. And then when you look at the characters aesthetically, a lot of people are worried about the game looking too real or too Mortal Kombat-y, for example. But it looks like, honestly, to me, it looks like just an upgraded version of what we've seen in Street Fighter 4 and 5. It looks like that same type of art style to me. I still see the big hands, the big feet. I still, you know what I mean? Their faces.
I was going to mention that. I think hands and feet overall are smaller, but in a good way, like as in they're still well designed in the sense that you can tell where they are. Like, for example, even Luke being barefoot, I think it's intentional because then you see the feet stand out really well over the black trousers he's wearing, for example.
Yeah.
Jamie has, the shoes, they're very easy to see.
But my point is it's there.
Deal.
My point is that it's there, right? They still have the big hands, big feet.
Well, I don't say they're too big. Like, it shows Jamie holding Luke in some kind of grip on his neck and near the end there. And like Street Fighter 5, his hand would be covering his neck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can see his fingers. So like they're not.
Yeah, but like when we first saw like the teaser trailer, we saw how huge Ryu looks like the Hulk, right? Like a giant fridge and that. You know what I mean? Like when you look at this, it doesn't seem like that jarring of an artistic change to me.
I think it looks good.
I mean, yeah, graphically it looks
I
amazing,
also,
but
think it looks great.
I don't think anyone's gonna argue it not looking amazing. I'm just saying artistically, it doesn't look like it's a huge, massive change.
It's not a huge jump. No, that's true.
Yeah.
If you're saying that, then I do agree. But I think they basically scaled it down a notch.
Okay.
On the whole big hands and big feet. Like they did go for a more realistic style, just still with some cartoony things. I mean, have you looked at Chun-Li's thighs? Like holy,
I know,
holy
I know. They were taking up the entire screen. It was insane. My chat was going nuts. But like that, I mean, that's cool. Like it still has that artistic style. It's not like fully, you know what I mean, photorealistic. There's still their way of like using their new engine, their RE engine, right, and still having their own personal look to the game.
Yeah, that's another thing that I wanted to mention. I don't know if we have it on video at any point, but I did predict in the past that Ryu wasn't actually all that much bigger than he is in the other games. A lot of people were like, "Oh my God, Ryu's huge," right?
Yeah.
But if you look at it in the gameplay footage that we have, he's Ryu. I mean, it doesn't seem very much wider than he usually is.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's mostly because of the perspective. Like in the trailer, they really forced that wide shot of him, like Ben Solo, shirtless Ben Solo.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some good memes on it. So we got 4 characters revealed. We got Chun-Li, Jamie, Luke, and Ryu. So Luke is technically a new character, right? So we got 2 new characters. Yeah. 2 returning characters. I don't think anyone is surprised that if they're going to show a new character, or a next character is going to be Chun-Li, right? We finally got our first female character. Too. What's that?
Chun-Li's little kid.
Her adopted kid, Li Fen, I think her name is. Yeah, Li Fen.
Yes.
And she's like a teenager now. So I don't know if we'll actually see her like as a character to play as, because that's one thing a lot of people were guessing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, right?
Well, I mean, they had teenagers in the past in Street Fighter. Like Makoto in Street Fighter 4 was 14, I think, something like that.
Yeah, and then they had Ed, who they like just juiced on Psycho Power, you know. But like, you know, when you look at the characters in this game so far, we kind of see like there's a lot. It looks like they're leaving behind from the previous Street Fighters. Like this whole we don't see any hints of like Shadowloo. You know what I mean? Or Sin. Or, I mean, obviously, we were just seeing the first glimpse of the game and its story, but it really looks like they're trying to start a new chapter of the game.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
I was going to mention
that. Start. Not fresh start, but you know what I mean.
Now it's going to be a little easier to kind of predict the direction they're going there. Like, we can't just, like, completely base our assumptions off the past and, like, nostalgia, because it really looks like they're trying to say, this is the new Street Fighter now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was going to mention they have this article on the PlayStation blog about Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
And some of the description of the characters seem to imply that, you know, some time has elapsed from, obviously, at least Street Fighter 5. I don't know if this is post Street Fighter 3, but for example, Chun-Li is listed as a former agent for Interpol.
Yeah.
So like she doesn't work for Interpol anymore. She's just like looking after the kid.
Yeah.
Jamie is trying to walk in the footsteps of Yan and Yang. So it is implied that Yan and Yang are... No, I was gonna say it's implied that they're famous.
Yeah.
So obviously it must have happened sometime after they, you know, got popular, right? So it could be in the future.
Yeah.
Quite a lot in the future. That's what I meant. Right?
Yeah. And since it's based, we see the Metro City and stuff, like, we're probably going to see some Final Fight characters again.
Oh, man. Yeah, I hope so.
Why? We want Cody?
We want Cody. I mean, it would be really nice if he was part of the beginning roster. I would be very happy. But for the most part, we're going to stick it out with Ryu, most likely, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless Cody's there. Then, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
We're Guile at.
One last thing I want to talk about too, guys, is this battle hub. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really worried about this.
Okay, well, Mira and I were talking earlier, and I was like, I told him my fears, and I was like, my fear is that if we want to play online and we want to play ranked, that we're gonna have to run around this hub, kind of like Guilty Gear, this silly ass thing that they do where they run around trying to matchmake.
Yeah,
and I was like, I don't want that.
Yeah,
all right, I want to sit in training mode, and I want to
play your next match.
Play my next match
and not jump through hoops. I don't want to pull out a meter stick.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to go in from an arcade machine.
I don't want people to avoid fighting me around a little arcade machine. I don't want that, right?
Yeah.
So that's my fear, but Mir was saying, I don't think it's going to be like that.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily enough, from this PlayStation blog article that I was mentioning before, I think our hopes, haven't been dashed. I'll read a small excerpt.
Please, Mir, continue.
Right? From arcade mode, online matches, training mode, local versus battles, and more, all found within the fighting ground. We're bringing modes present in previous titles, plus 2 brand new modes called World Tour and Battle Hub to Street Fighter 6 to offer an unbeatable gaming experience. So they make really clear that online matches are part of the fighting ground.
Okay.
While the World Tour and the Battle Hub are 2 separate modes.
Okay.
So that's why I was saying that the Battle Hub might be kind of like the Second Life thing, where you go around with your avatar and meet other people. Kind of like a replacement for the CFN.
You know it's coming. Well,
in the World Tour mode, you're probably going to be able to customize your character, right?
Yeah.
And then then you're going to be able to run around the hub with them.
So. We'll have our dojo, right? Our dojo rivalry, like the dojo characters running to each other,
just running off
dojo.
I mean,
dude, we're trying to grow the community, right? I mean,
it'll be all right.
If people don't want to leave their homes, and we have
me in the hub,
we have no arcade. I mean, this is the next step, So we want some way for players to.
Well, if you're running around the hub, this is a good thing, guys. If you're running around the hub, that to me shows that there's going to be some kind of customization, right? You're not all going to be running around the same avatar.
Yeah.
So I like that idea,
Yeah.
I like customizing stuff.
That really reinforces how big the scope of this game is.
Yes.
Like I was mentioning before, like the fighting ground is basically already like your normal fighting game package. This extra stuff, like these other 2 modes, are completely on top of that. Like they really want to make this game the most AAA fighting game they ever could make,
Which is funny because it's been recent discussion on the value of fighting games, how they've really felt diminished, and how we get a bare bones product at launch and then eventually becomes what we want it to be right away. Like I said at the beginning, this does not look rushed. This looks big.
It's almost like they didn't want to repeat the mistake of Street Fighter 5. You know what I mean? We're like, get the multiplayer out, okay? No, we're coming. This is huge.
Yeah,
this is absolutely huge.
We'd like to thank Monster Hunter for all the extra money Capcom's got.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say they really need to build the goodwill of the game from the beginning, because a lot of people for Street Fighter 5, for example, they're still saying how Street Fighter 5 is not good because the launch was bad, and they haven't played since launch because they were just so like salty about how the game turned out.
Right.
When really Street Fighter 5 is a perfectly fine game now. So Capcom obviously understands that they don't want to do that. Yeah. They want to have everyone happy from the beginning.
And this game took a really long time to get announced, dude. Almost 7 years later.
Yeah.
Well, I think they wanted it to be perfect.
Yeah. I mean, it's looking good, dude. Like, I feel like people are going to be a lot more positive now going forward. Like,
well, how can you not be? Look at the amount of...
You could be a hater, really.
Well, you could be a hater, but you can watch this, and how could you doubt that this game is not going to... Like, they're not coming... They're not out for blood, man. Like, they're looking... We are the fighting game. We are Street Fighter.
And we got some heavy hitters coming, Willie, like Multiverse and Project L. And,
I mean, that's the thing. Project L, I think that's what I think is. Remember, I was like talking about Project L. This is a while ago, before we seen or heard, before the announcement of Street Fighter 6, before it was a real thing. Remember, I was telling you like Project L, like they're not gonna like I don't know, unless Street Fighter comes out crazy, no one's gonna be able to top Project L. They got Riot money. Yeah, they have a cast already. They got big timers working for them. Mm-hmm. But this is insane. Yeah. Like, honestly, from what Project L showed compared to what they showed here,
from a casual perspective,
this looks amazing. Yeah. Okay, this looks crazy.
They've really like addressed like every concern dude, they even changed the logo, guys. They changed the logo.
Yeah. But what choice did they have? What choice did they have? Let's be honest.
They changed the logo. Like, that's nuts. Like,
they were backed into a corner, right? Yeah. They had to change the logo.
And it's on every single platform. It's on PS5, PS4,
which is a very big deal.
Xbox and Steam.
Because to be honest, Street Fighter 5 to me, like online, there's always tons of players. Imagine if there was Xbox and stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be fantastic.
Like this community,
Well,
this
especially
is
if it is a new
huge.
game, then more people are gonna play, right? Obviously, the influx of people at the beginning, especially if there is crossplay, it's gonna be just huge,
You gotta
right?
whisper that, Mir. You gotta whisper that.
Yeah.
Well, there has to be. That's insane.
Well, I mean,
Well, if there's
I'm gonna
crossplay,
shout that so that if
can
they
you imagine how
forgot
big the
about
player
it,
base will be? Oh my god.
yeah,
I'm
no,
telling
like
you
that's
right
what I'm
now,
saying.
like-
Let's just say that Capcom accidentally forgot about crossplay. Then we need to be very vocal now so that they implement it before it's out. It's out. Because otherwise, they're gonna be like, "Oh, whoops, I forgot."
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
I think it's really important to say for this reveal that regardless of how positive or negative the review, not the review, I'm sorry, the reaction of people is, every kind of little criticism should be brought out. You know, like Capcom should see it. I love this what they did with this announcement. But there are a couple of things that I pointed out that I don't particularly like or that I would like to see changed. And I think it's important to mention it. It's important to have it out because then Capcom can fix it. Because we know how difficult it is for developers to fix it after the game is out. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen plenty of other fighting games that, you know, find a problem when the game is released and then it takes 6 months to fix.
Yeah.
And the game's dead by then. So
Talking about King of Fighters?
No.
maybe.
Mir was talking about how much he hated the real-time commentary option that you have when you're playing the game.
Oh yeah, no, are you kidding me? That's great.
No, Mir, it's
There's gonna
whack.
be so many announcer packs. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
waiting
there'll be
for
like
my favorite
Abigail
streamer
one.
announcer
Oh, like a
pack.
DLC?
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
horrible,
Yeah.
guys.
You know, like
You know how games like Dota have announcers that are not even part of the lore.
I
Like
just
for
really have like
example,
the Unreal and like Quake announcers, basically.
no, I was thinking more like, you know, Dota is Gabe Newell or whatever.
I don't even know
They
about
could
that.
have
I don't even know.
they could have announcers like these for Street Fighter 5.
No.
The
Can you
Ono
imagine,
announcer
like,
pack.
custom ones? You can make
Bring back
custom-
Ono just to have the announcer pack.
Oh my god, that'd be brutal, guys. No, that's not the direction I want to go. All right, guys.
I mean, you don't have to
have
use it if you don't want to. It's an
we
option.
have a million breakdown videos we need to do, and like I said, this is our first impressions. I'm gonna do my best, guys, to break down everything in detail. I gotta collect all that information for everyone, but so far it's super positive, man. I could not have guessed how much. I think we're all surprised on just how much information
Yeah, absolutely.
and how overwhelming this announcement is. For just, you know, this 30-minute conference that we didn't think would be much, you know, it's crazy. Let us know in the comments below, guys, what you think, your first initial impressions of Street Fighter 6, and your thoughts and concerns, and, you know, if Capcom is slowly restoring the faith for fighting games for you guys. Are you guys super excited for this? And then I think the train is not going to stop from here, Amir. I think it's going to go nonstop now. We're going to get more information and hopefully a beta test.
Oh yeah,
soon.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
think this is a slam dunk.
Yeah?
I think this is like
Willie says 10 out of 10 slam dunk.
whoa,
Yeah,
9 out of 10.
uncle, right?
9 out of 10. 9
out of 10.
9 out
Fuck
of
it,
10.
crazy.
9 out of 10.
Whoa.
I mean, 10 out of 10 is crazy, man. Like, there's
Whoa.
not much 10 out
I
of
guess
10s
that's
out
true.
there.
Whoa. What do you think?
I
Amir?
would
6 out of
be
6?
I would be a hypocrite to say that I would give this a 10 out of 10 because I'm one of those people that never gives 10 out of 10 because 10 out of 10 means perfect. So there you go.
So what are you giving it?
I
9
guess
out
it's
of 10?
true. This is a 9 out of 10, 9.5.
All right. This is a 6 out of 6 for me. Okay. All right. We'll talk again soon, guys. All right. Thanks for joining me. All right. Peace.
See ya.